Hey everyone, and welcome back to our podcast.
I'm so excited for today's episode because we're diving into a topic that some of you have asked about.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Infinity English podcast channel. I'm genuinely thrilled to be back.
It's great to be here, Ibrahim. And today we are bringing you a brand new topic that is not just crucial, but actually super interesting.
Absolutely. Today we're building the foundation of all communication, the perfect English self-introduction. We're going to teach you how to talk about yourself with ease and confidence.
Before we dive into our roadmap, we have to pause for a second. To everyone who hasn't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit that subscribe button right now. Your support truly helps us grow and allows us to keep bringing you these deep dive English lessons.
Your support really means a lot. And if you find this episode useful, please remember to like the video, leave your feedback in the comments, and share it with your friends. We absolutely rely on that community interaction.
Thank you so much for that support. Okay, Ibrahim, shall we start today's podcast?
Let's do it. 2. The powerful hook, and step 1, name and origin. Linda, let's start with a universal question. What's the one simple moment in English conversation that causes every beginner to panic? It's the phrase, "Tell me about yourself." It sounds easy, but it freezes the brain.
Oh, the infamous, "Tell me about yourself." It's terrifying because it's too open-ended. We need to break it down.
Exactly. Mastering the self-introduction is the foundation of all communication. If you can't talk about yourself confidently, you can't talk about anything. This episode is your comprehensive guide. Let's begin with step 1, your name and where you are from. The primary goal is clarity.
Let's use the simplest, most universal phrases first.
Dialogue example 1. Basic introduction. Hello. What is your name and where are you originally from?
Hi there. My name is Linda. I am from Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Perfect. But what if the person has trouble understanding a unique or complex name? We need a graceful way to help them.
You must be ready to spell it out and offer a simple alternative. This shows advanced social awareness even for a beginner.
Dialogue example 2. Spelling and nickname.
My name is Linda. That's Linda. You can call me Lynn for short if you prefer.
That small gesture of offering a nickname is fluent communication. Now, let's make the origin part more natural. Instead of just saying, "I am from X," what else can we say to keep the conversation going?
You must give a brief, interesting detail about the location, a conversational bridge. This prevents the conversation from dying immediately.
Dialogue example 3. Adding interest, the conversational bridge. Hey, Linda, where are you from?
I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh. It's a massive, vibrant city known for its incredible historical architecture, which I love.
That's excellent. You've immediately given the listener a topic to follow up on, like historical architecture? That sounds fascinating. You've mastered the first step. Step 4. Interests and hobbies, the connection point. Linda, we've covered the basics, name, origin, and profession. This is factual data, but real human connection happens over shared passion. This brings us to step 4, your interests and hobbies. This step is not just about vocabulary, it's about making yourself memorable.
That's absolutely right. Hobbies are the universal language of friendship. The mistake beginners make is saying, "I like to read." That's too generic. You need to be specific and use dynamic language.
How do we get specific and dynamic?
Instead of using passive verbs like or enjoy, use active verbs or C1 level phrases.
Dialogue example 8, describing hobbies actively. So, what do you like to do in your free time?
I am passionate about landscape photography. I spend my weekends capturing the subtle changes in nature's light.
Wow! Capturing the subtle changes in nature's light is much more engaging than "I like taking pictures." It gives the listener a clear visual. What about the response when the learner doesn't have an intense hobby?
Frame it around skill acquisition or relaxation. Be honest, but make it sound purposeful.
Dialogue example 9, describing quiet interests.
I'm currently learning how to cook authentic Italian food. It's a great way for me to unwind after a long work week.
That's an excellent strategy. You're showing continuous self-improvement, which is a highly positive trait, even if the hobby is quiet. The key takeaway is always use descriptive language and active verbs to show passion. 6. The listener's role. Active listening in introductions. We focused entirely on the speaker so far, but in a successful introduction, the listener plays a massive role. This brings us to a crucial tip for confidence: the listener's role, or active listening. Beginners often focus so much on rehearsing their own part that they forget to process what the other person is saying. When you fail to listen actively, the conversation becomes awkward and your confidence plummets. So how does a beginner practice active listening when they're nervous and thinking about their next line?
Use the echo and question method. Echo, confirmation, briefly repeat a key word or phrase the speaker just used. Question, continuation, follow up with a simple question related to that word.
Dialogue example 10. Active listening in practice. I'm originally from a small town in the north, and I work as a graphic designer.
A graphic designer? That's really interesting. What kind of projects do you usually work on?
That response makes me feel instantly comfortable. It signals that you are processing my words, not just waiting for your turn. This builds immediate rapport.
And the beautiful thing is, the echo and question method is simple enough for any beginner to master, but it results in genuine, advanced-level conversational flow. It creates a seamless bridge between two people.
7. Step 5. Future goals and ambitions. The aspirational hook. Linda, we've successfully navigated the present and the past. Now, to make a truly strong impression, the speaker must address the future. This is step 5, your future goals and ambitions. This step is an aspirational hook that makes the speaker sound motivated and forward-thinking.
Absolutely. Anyone can talk about their job today, but talking about tomorrow shows vision and drive. The mistake beginners make is saying, "I want to get a better job." That's too generic. You need to be specific about the skill you want to master.
How do we frame the ambition in a simple C1 level way?
The structure is simple. My goal is to verb, or I'm currently working towards noun phrase.
Dialogue example 11, describing professional ambition. What are you hoping to achieve in your career over the next few years?
My goal is to transition into a full-time project management role and specifically to gain certification in advanced data security.
That is powerful. You're using strong action verbs, transition, gain certification. Now, let's practice framing an English language goal itself.
Dialogue example 12, describing language ambition. And what is your current goal with English?
I'm working towards achieving C1 fluency so I can confidently lead client meetings and negotiate effectively.
That instantly makes the speaker sound serious and driven. It gives the listener confidence in the speaker's motivation.
8. Step 6. Closing the introduction. Handing over control. Linda, the introduction is complete. The speaker has successfully delivered their information. Now, the final step, and this is a psychological maneuver, is step 6. Closing the introduction and handing over control. How do you gracefully end your segment and invite the other person to speak, ensuring the conversation doesn't die?
The mistake is falling silent and waiting. That creates awkwardness. The fluent solution is to end with a direct, open-ended question for the other person, forcing them to engage and saving the conversational momentum.
What are the best closing questions?
The questions should be either a direct reversal or related to a common interest. Direct reversal. And what about you? What motivated you to attend this conference today? Interest related. Since I mentioned my passion for photography, what hobbies do you usually pursue in your free time? Dialogue example 13, closing the introduction. So that's a little about me.
I'm hoping to gain some project management insights here. What brings you to the event today?
That works perfectly. You've delivered your script, you've complimented the other person by asking about them, and you've put the conversational ball squarely in their court. You have established a confident, fluent connection.
Exactly. The successful introduction isn't just about what you say, it's about how elegantly you pass the baton. That concludes our breakdown of the 6 essential steps.
9. The psychology of confidence, the nonverbal game. Linda, we've armed our listeners with a solid 6-step script. However, the delivery is just as important as the content. This brings us to a crucial lesson for confidence, the nonverbal game. A perfect script delivered with slouched shoulders and averted eyes still fails.
Absolutely. Your body speaks louder than your vocabulary. For beginners, nonverbal communication is a fantastic confidence hack because it's a universal language. Focus on 3 elements: eye contact, posture, and smiling.
Let's break down eye contact. Many learners avoid it because they're nervous or trying to translate in their head. What's the simple rule?
The simple rule is maintain eye contact 60 to 70% of the time. Look at the person as you speak, not at the floor or the wall. If you need to pause to think, briefly look away to the side, gather your thought, and then immediately return eye contact. This signals engagement and trust.
What about posture?
Confidence is conveyed through openness. Stand or sit with a straight back, shoulders relaxed, and uncross your arms. Open posture signals receptivity and confidence. Never hug yourself. That's a universal sign of anxiety.
And the simplest tool, smiling.
Smiling is your greatest weapon. A genuine smile disarms the other person and makes them receptive to your message, even if your grammar is flawed. It creates an immediate positive connection before you even say a word.
10. Common pitfalls to avoid in self-introductions. Ibrahim, Linda, to conclude the content roadmap, we need to address the 3 most common mistakes that even confident beginners often make. These are the pitfalls that destroy momentum.
The first pitfall is the apology reflex. Never apologize for your English. Avoid phrases like, "My English is not very good," or "sorry for my mistakes."
Why is apologizing so damaging?
Because it sets a low expectation for yourself and the listener. Instead of apologizing, acknowledge your status briefly and move on. "I'm currently working on my fluency, but I'm excited to talk with you." This reframes your status as a motivated learner, not a flawed speaker.
The second pitfall is the data dump. Delivering all 6 steps of the introduction at lightning speed without pausing for the other person to respond.
Yes, the nervous data dump. The introduction should be delivered in segments: name and origin, then job and interests, allowing the listener natural openings for the active listening steps we discussed. If you dump all the information at once, you overload the listener and kill their chance to participate.
And the final pitfall?
The overly technical description. If you are an engineer, don't use 5 acronyms that only your colleagues understand. You must explain your job using universal language so the average person can understand your role and ask a meaningful follow-up question. This is crucial for cross-cultural communication.
11. Review the 6-step master template. Linda, before we transition to the final challenges, let's synthesize everything. For our listeners, the secret to the perfect self-introduction is not one long paragraph. It's mastering these 6 sequential steps to create a fluid, conversational script.
Absolutely. We've gone from the initial moment of panic to a complete conversational framework. Let's quickly review the template. Step 1. Name and origin. Clarity and bridge detail. For example, historical architecture. Step 2. Current status. Simple tense. Working, studying, or in transition. Step 3. Job or major. Concise description. For example, responsible for. Step 4. Interests. Passion and active verbs. For example, passionate about. Step 5, future goals. Aspirational hook. For example, goal is to gain certification. Step 6, closing. Hand over control. Ask a direct question.
This template ensures the speaker covers all the necessary factual and emotional territory without leaving any awkward gaps. Now, how do we turn this beautiful template into an automatic reflex?
Practice drills, building automaticity.
The only way to achieve automaticity is through disciplined, repetitive practice. We'll use 2 targeted drills, the speed dial drill and the environment adaptation drill. The speed dial drill. Record yourself reciting your complete 6-step introduction in 3 different tones. First, formal for an interview. Second, casual for meeting a friend. And third, rapid to test momentum. The goal is to be able to recall the entire script in any context within 60 seconds. This builds the muscle memory and flexibility needed for fluency.
That addresses the psychological versatility. What about ensuring the introduction sounds natural in the real world?
That requires the environment adaptation drill. The learner must practice introducing themselves in 3 radically different physical settings, forcing them to adapt their tone and content instantly. Practice introducing yourself as the professional. Focus on step 3 and 5, job and goals. The socializer. Focus on step 4 and 5, interests and goals. The new student. Focus on step 2 and 4, status and interests.
This is brilliant. You're not just learning one script, you're learning to instantly adapt the script based on the social context. This is the difference between rehearsed English and true fluency. 13. Mindset shift, from student to performer. Linda, we've armed our listeners with the templates and the drills, but the final layer of true sustained confidence requires a fundamental identity shift. Learners must stop seeing themselves solely as students of English and start viewing themselves as performers or speakers. This internal transition is often the hardest psychological hurdle.
That's absolutely right, Ibrahim. The student mindset prioritizes accuracy, analysis, and the fear of grades. The performer mindset prioritizes communication, connection, and energy. We achieve this shift through performance practice and focusing on external delivery.
How can a learner practically adopt this performer mindset?
First, use role-playing. Dedicate time to practicing specific personas. If you are preparing for a job interview, don't just answer questions. Pretend you are the confident, authoritative candidate. If you are giving a presentation, practice the physical elements, gestures, vocal projection, stance, while speaking English. This external focus on the performance reduces the internal focus on the fear of making a mistake.
That is profound. When you focus on being the performer, you temporarily forget that you are the learner. You bypass the internal critic. What is the simpler way to reinforce this identity daily?
Vocal variation. People who speak monotonously sound less confident, even if their grammar is perfect. Practice using wide vocal ranges to express emotion, enthusiasm, disappointment, seriousness. This makes the speech sound dynamic and authentic. When your speech is authentic and dynamic, your confidence naturally elevates because you're actively engaging the listener, not just reciting words.
14. Full synthesis, the master roadmap review. Let's bring it all back together. We've covered everything from basic clarity to the psychology of the confident performer. Here's the final condensed roadmap we want our listeners to commit to. Area, the problem, the solution. Clarity, awkward origin or name. Use nickname or bridge detail, step 1. Connection, silence after speaking. Echo and question method, active listening. Relevance, generic hobbies or goals. Use active verbs and aspirational hooks, step 4 and 5. Delivery, nervous posture or tone. Maintain 60% eye contact and open posture. Flow, stopping to correct mistakes. Ignore minor errors and use quick retraction markers. automaticity, slow retrieval, the speed dial drill, practice every day.
These are the non-negotiable foundations. Your ultimate goal is to practice these steps until the internal critic is silenced and your external speaker is dominant.
15. The final synthesis, the Master Roadmap Review. Linda, we have successfully covered the entire spectrum, moving from overcoming the initial fluency freeze to adopting the performer mindset. Before we deliver our final challenge, let's quickly offer our listeners a clear, powerful summary of the entire six-step system and the necessary mindset shifts.
Absolutely, Ibrahim. Remember, confidence is a result, not a starting condition. You build it by mastering these core elements. Preparation. Master the six-step template, name, job, goals, interests, etc. And adapt it instantly, the adaptation drill. Psychology. Stop apologizing, the apology reflex, and embrace the performer mindset. Flow. Replace nervous ums with cognitive fillers and avoid stopping to self-correct, managing self-correction. Connection. Use the echo and question method, active listening, to elegantly hand over the conversational baton.
These principles are the non-negotiable cost of admission to C2 fluency. They move the learner from passively hoping for fluency to actively manufacturing it through strategic output.
16. The ultimate challenge and conclusion.
Linda, we have spent a lot of time giving you the tools. Now, the commitment rests with you. Motivation will naturally fade, but the right habit will endure. Your ultimate challenge from the Infinity English podcast is to select one major recurring flaw you identified in your self-introductions, perhaps the awkward silence after your name, and commit to practicing the six-step sequence flawlessly in a speed dial drill every day for 1 week.
If you break the chain, do not quit. Just restart the next day. Remember the rule of minimum commitment. 2 minutes of focus practice is always better than 0.
We believe in your ability to become a confident, fluent speaker. Don't let this knowledge dissipate. If this comprehensive roadmap has empowered you to take control of your fluency journey, please show your support. Like this video right now and subscribe to the Infinity English podcast so you never miss another deep dive into C2 mastery.
We thrive on your engagement. Tell us in the comments, what is the most difficult section of the self-introduction for you to deliver confidently?
Thank you for joining us. Now go forth, speak confidently, and enjoy the ultimate reward of fluency.
If you like this podcast, please subscribe this channel. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.